Myself, AWS, Azure and Oracle certified professional and Microsoft certified trainer. Many associates not only passed by following these videos, they have passed with above 90% score. If you have missed OCI Foundation question series videos or Oracle Autonomous Database Specialty Exam question series videos, I highly recommend you to please watch those videos. To encourage you for the free certification, we have started a giveaway where you can participate for free and win exciting rewards while preparing for the certification exam. Don't miss to click the I button at the top right corner to know the steps. Links available in the video description as well. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon now. Let's start. Question 11. Which two are regional resources in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure? And the options are A. Ephemeral public IP, B. Compartments, C. Compute images, D. Dynamic groups, and E. Block volume backups. Any resource in OCI will be either regional or cross-regional. Means regional resources are those whose limit is within a region, whereas cross-regional resources can span across region. If you refer this documentation, you can see the list of resources mentioned which are cross-regional resources like compartment, dynamic group, etc. If you scroll further, you could see huge number of services mentioned under regional resources. So it is clear number of regional resources are much higher than cross-regional resources. Few examples of regional resources are compute images, volume backups, etc. Now back to the option. Option A, ephemeral public IP. This is cross-regional resource, so incorrect choice. Option B, compartment. Compartment is also cross-regional resource, so incorrect choice. Compute image is regional resource, so option C is correct. Dynamic groups are cross-regional resource, so incorrect choice. And option E, block volume backup is regional resource, so correct choice. So the correct options for question 11 are option C and E. Question 12. Which of the following statements is true about the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Object Storage Server-Side Encryption? And the options are A. Encryption of data encryption keys with a master encryption key is optional. B. Customer provided encryption keys are always stored in OCI Vault service. C. Encryption is enabled by default and cannot be turned off. And D. Each object in a bucket is always encrypted with the same data encryption key. All data in object storage is encrypted at rest by using AES-256. Encryption is on by default and cannot be turned off. Each object is encrypted with its encryption key and object encryption keys are encrypted with their master encryption key. In addition, customer can use client-side encryption to encrypt objects with their encryption keys before storing them into object storage bucket. Option A, encryption of data encryption keys with a master encryption key is optional. No, this is not optional, rather mandatory, so incorrect choice. Option B, customer provided encryption keys are always stored in OCI Vault service. This is not right, since keys may be stored in bucket or even AWS S3. Option C, encryption is enabled by default and cannot be turned off. Yes, this is true and clearly mentioned in OCI doc, so correct choice. Option D, each object in a bucket is always encrypted with the same data encryption key. No, not same data encryption key. So option D is incorrect. So the correct option for question 12 is option C. Question 13. An Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Tenancy Administrator is not able to delete a user in the tenancy. What can cause this issue? And the options are A. User has multi-factor authentication enabled. B. User is member of an identity and access management group. C. User can be blocked but not be deleted. D. User needs to be deleted from Federation Identity Provider before deleting from IAM. There is one important prerequisite to delete a user from OCI. You can delete a user, but only if the user is not member of any group. So to delete a user, the user must be not in any group. Back to the options. Option A, user has multi-factor authentication enabled. No, MFA has no relation with deleting a user. MFA is used for extra layer of security for a user account. So this is incorrect. Option B, user is member of an identity and access management group. This is correct. As per OCI principle, you can't delete a user if user is part of any IAM group. So option B is correct. Option C, user can be blocked but not deleted. No, user can be deleted obviously. So C is incorrect. Option D, user needs to be deleted from Federation Identity Provider before deleting from IAM. No, IAM has no relation with this. So incorrect. So the correct option for question 13 is option B. Question 14. You need to set up an instance principal so that an application running on an instance can call Oracle Cloud Infrastructure public services without the need to configure user credential. A developer in your team has already configured the application built using OCI SDK to authenticate using the instance principal provider, which is not a necessary step to complete this setup. And the options are A. Create a dynamic group with matching rules to specify which instance you want to allow to make API calls against services. B. Generate auth tokens to enable instances in dynamic group to authenticate with API. C. Create a policy granting permissions to dynamic group to access services in your compartment or tenancy. And D. Deploy the application and the SDK to all the instances that belong to the dynamic group. Let's see the steps for setting up and using instance principal. First, create a dynamic group. In the dynamic group definition, you provide the matching rules to specify which instances you want to allow to make API call against services. Next, create a policy granting permission to the dynamic group to access services in your tenancy. Third, a developer in your organization configure the application built using Oracle Cloud Infrastructure SDK to authenticate using instance principal provider. Point to be noted, in the question it is mentioned which is not necessary step. So we need to select false statement. Option A is valid statement. This is the first step for setting up and using instance as principal. So this is incorrect. Option B, generate auth tokens to enable instances in the dynamic group to authenticate with API. This is invalid statement. This is not needed and also not mentioned in OCI doc. So option B is correct. Option C, create a policy is also required and valid statement. So incorrect choice. Option D, deploy the application and the SDK to all the instances that belong to the dynamic group. This is also valid statement. Hence incorrect choice. So the correct answer for question 14 is option B. Question 15. You are a system administrator of your company and you are asked to manage updates and patches across all your compute instances running in Oracle Linux in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. As part of your task, you need to apply all the latest kernel security updates to all instances. Which OCI service will allow you to complete this task? And the options are A. Resource Manager, B. OS Management, C. Storage Gateway, and D. Registry. Now analyze the options. Option A, Resource Manager. Resource Manager allow you to automate the process of provisioning your Oracle Cloud Infrastructure resources. It won't help you in manage, update and patches. So incorrect choice. Option B, OS Management. The Oracle Cloud Infrastructure OS Management service allow you to manage updates and patches for the operating system environment on your Oracle Cloud Infrastructure instances. So option B is correct. Option C, Storage Gateway. Storage Gateway helps you to connect your on-premise application with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So this is incorrect. Option D, Registry. OCI Container Registry enables you to simplify your development and production workflow. So this is also incorrect. So the correct option for question 15 is option B. Question 16. You have been asked to create an identity and access management user that will authenticate to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure API endpoints. This user must not be given credential that would allow them to log into the OCI console. Which two authentication options can you use? And the options are A. SSL certificate, B. API signing keys, C. SSH key pair, D. PEM certificate file, and F. auth token. Now analyze the options. Option A, SSL certificate. SSL certificate is used for secure traffic. It won't help in authentication process. So this is incorrect. Option B, API signing keys. API signing keys will help you in authentication process. So this is correct. Option C, SSH key pair. You cannot connect to an OCI API URL via SSH. So this is incorrect. Option D, PEM certificate file. This is also incorrect. Option E, auth token. You can use auth token to authenticate with third party. So this is correct. You can refer this documentation if you want to know more. I have mentioned all these documentation links in the video description so that you can go through this. Question 17. You work for a medical insurance company that stores a large number of patient health records in an Oracle Cloud Infrastructure object storage bucket named Medical Records. Each record needs to be securely stored for a period of 5 years for regulatory compliance purpose and cannot be modified, overwritten or deleted during this time period. What can you do to meet this requirement? And the options are A. Create an OCI object storage lifecycle policy rule to archive objects in the medical record bucket for 5 years. Option B. Create an OCI object storage time-bound retention rule on the medical records bucket for 5 years. Enable retention rule lock on this bucket. Option C. Enable encryption on medical records bucket using your own Vault master encryption keys. Now analyze the options. Option A. Create an OCI object storage lifecycle policy rule to archive object in the medical records bucket for 5 years. Object storage lifecycle policy is used to move object between different storage tier to save cost. This won't help you for the scenario stated here. So incorrect choice. Option B. Retention rule. Retention rule provides immutable compliant storage options for data retained to object storage and archive storage for data governance, regulatory, compliance and legal hold requirements. Retention rule can also be protect your data from accidental and malicious update, override or deletion. Retention rules can be locked to prevent the rule modification and data deletion or modification even by administrator. So option B satisfy the requirement, hence correct choice. Option C. Enable encryption on the medical records bucket using your own Vault master encryption keys. No, encryption key will help you to encrypt the object. It won't help you in regulatory compliance. So incorrect choice. The correct option for question 17 is option B. Question 18. Which two parameters are required in a backend set HTTP health check? And the options are A. Response body, B. URL path, C. Timeout, D. Port and E. Status code. Let us see while creating load balancer what are mandatory. Load balancing automatically checks the health of the instance for your load balancer. If it detects an unhealthy instance, it stops sending traffic to the instance and route the traffic to healthy instances. You need to mention 3 properties. 1. Protocol, 2nd port and 3rd URL path. The rest of the fields are optional and can be left blank. So as per OCI doc, the required parameters are protocol, port and URL path. So option A is incorrect. Option B is correct. Option C timeout is incorrect. Option D port is correct. And the last option status code is also incorrect. So the correct options for question 18 are option B and D. Question 19. Which two configuration format does Terraform support? And the options are A. YML, B. JSON, C. ACL and D. XML. Terraform supports 2 language formats, HashiCorp Configuration Language Format or ACL and JavaScript Object Notation or JSON. So option A is incorrect. Option B JSON and option C ACL both are correct. And the last option XML is incorrect. So the correct options for question 19 are option B and C. Question 20. Which 2 statements are true about Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Compute Service? And the options are A. You can launch a virtual or bare metal instance by using the same launch instance API. Now analyze the options. Option A. You can launch a virtual or bare metal instance by using the same launch instance API. Yes, you can. So this is correct. Option B. You cannot launch a bare metal server in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Compute Service. No, you can launch. So this is incorrect. Option C. You can attach a block volume in an availability domain other than your compute instance. No, volumes are only accessible to the instance in the same availability domain. So this is incorrect too. Option D is correct. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Compute lets you share custom images across tenancies and regions using image import-export. So the correct options for question 20 are option A and D. Congratulations, we are at end of the video. Have discussed many questions which will help you in your exam preparation. Check other videos already available in this channel to get more questions. Hope you have learned a lot So please like the video, subscribe the channel and share with others. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.